Hello guys, welcome back to another Bitcoin update. Here right now we have a lot to cover. As we mentioned in yesterday's video, we said that this median line will be the next target and there will be another bounce from here. So we can see here, price came straight down here to the median line. Before then we got a massive bounce. So I do think we have made a temporary bottom, especially on some altcoins. One of my favorite altcoins I'm looking at is nearprotocol, which I will cover in a second, which I believe really has bottomed and we're now taking off. So as this pitchfork played out perfectly, some of the members went long here in the VIP Discord link down below. I do believe this can be the start of a push high up here, a push higher to break the all-time highs. So something that I'm looking at right now, since this pitchfork played out perfectly, what I'm looking at here is taking from these lows down here. So we just pull from these lows here up to these highs and then to these lows here. So something that I was mentioning previously as well, that we have this series of higher lows as well coming here. But you can see here we broke those lows. We can see here this low down here. So price came down, grabbed the liquidity before then it went higher. So that's something I'm looking at right now. This pitchfork, sorry, I meant the shift one. So here on the shift pitchfork, I do believe this pitchfork is gonna get reached. If price doesn't come up here, I'll be very, very surprised. Right now it looks like we're having some kind of pullback here on Bitcoin. Something that we can look at here, what's going to act as most likely as support is if we pull from the lows here to the highs. We can actually see just live as we're talking how the 0.31 Fibonacci is playing out. We can see here algorithms are buying, so you can zoom in here on the 1 hour. So this is for those who are into scalping, you can just place the buy order here and you've already been out of the trade, or you can choose to ride it higher. You can see some volatility is coming in. I think it's because Powell is speaking right now. So that's why some volatility. But overall, from the technical perspective, I do think this median line is going to be the next target. So once we reach this median line, then we can talk about the original pitchfork. So the original has a possibility to get reached, but I do think it's going to be very, very difficult, because this would mean we have to first break the all-time highs here, and then maybe some volume will come in and push the price higher. But I do think that's very optimistic. So start with the shift one. So that's what we have the outlook right here at the moment. If we start coming lower, I have this as a nice demand zone here. But if we start breaking the 0.31, as I just showed you guys, then I will start to worry, because the 0.31 also aligns with the 0.5 line here. So if price would do something like this, then I will have to reconsider my entire analysis. But for the time right now, I do expect us to go sideways / higher. So around 71,000 is going to be the next target. Now I want to show you some altcoins here. Actually, let's cover Ethereum as well. I'm not sure if I covered this in my yesterday's video or in the Discord and my Telegram. So we can see here, I use this pitchfork from the highs here on Ethereum to the lows and then to the recent highs. We use the shift pitchfork. We can see here it goes slightly front run from the median line. I do believe on some exchanges price came down here to the median line before it bounced. So it does look bullish to me overall here Ethereum, because we still have this higher pitchfork target that I had here earlier. So Ethereum is still going to go to 5,000 in my opinion. We'll just have to see here if the low are in fact in, or because this on the log scale. On the non-log, we basically bounced here on Ethereum. But if we go on the log scale, there is still possibility. Sorry, let me go here. There's still possibility that we could have one more push down, liquidate a lot of buyers, and then before then we'll go higher. So we have to pay attention to this, because market loves to take out leverage long. So you have to be careful. So that's what I'm looking at for Ethereum right now. So most likely I do think Ethereum is going to continue higher. But if we go lower, then we have a target here at 3,320 to go long. Then I want to cover my favorite altcoin, nearprotocol, which took a very, very heavy dump here. Let me just remove all this. Took a very, very heavy dump here the past few days, but then we had a similar pitchfork here on the daily. I took from the macro third wave that I have here. I have a macro third wave down to the fourth wave and to the recent highs here on your protocol, and that's when we went long in the VIP Discord. So you can see here her price perfectly respected this median line here. You could, of course, there's different strategies how you can play this pitchfork. Personally, I had a little bit bigger stop loss just to be sure, because we also have the modify shift here. So let's say price would have come here, would still have been in the trade, but you could also have a much tighter stop. In this way you can make this would have already been a 27 to 1, just an example, but that's much more risky. So right now I'm long near protocol. I don't think near is gonna go lower than this. I do think the bottom is in right now. The only thing is here that we didn't quite sweep these lows here. So we have here like some kind of demand zone, I would call it. Ideally, it would be nice if we would have swept these lows before we went higher, but at the moment, a lot of altcoins look good. So like near protocol, I do think this is a major low. We can see here the volume has not been great. Usually we can see here when the bottom happens, we have a massive volume spike. So you can see here last time we made a macro bottom, we had a massive volume spike. So that's the only thing that worries me right now. But personally, those who are in this trade, I do recommend to take some profits here, because right now near protocol is at resistance. And what I mean by that is you just pull from the highs here down to the lows. So where did the near turn around? It turned around here at the 0.31 here. So personally, I opened as a very, very small short here, more as a hedge. So I opened it straight right here at the 0.31. So right now my short is in some small profits. But overall, I do like near protocol. But as I covered in my yesterday's video, a lot of altcoins still look bearish, or like, doesn't necessarily mean they have to go down, but it doesn't necessarily mean they're going to go up either, because I do think only a few altcoins are actually going to perform long term this bull market, and I do believe near protocol is one of them. So I have been expecting for this resistance to be broken for a long time, and then we're gonna go to the new yearly highs. That's when I think that near really is gonna rally, and we're gonna go here to around 15. That has been my target for some time, because basically how I calculate it, I take from the first wave here to the third wave. We had a bottom at the 0.31 here. So the next target is the minus 0.236. These are the only two Fibonacci's that I use. So if in fact the bottom is here or near, which I do think is very, very possible, then we can start climbing higher here slowly but surely. It's gonna go there overnight. But we have to play out we have to see what Ethereum is gonna do. So Ethereum is gonna determine a lot. Either Ethereum is gonna go higher, or we come down here once again on Ethereum to 3,300. This would get an excellent long area before we go higher. So that's kind of what I'm looking at right now. Something else also I wanted to cover just quickly is the total altcoin market cap. The macro perspective hasn't changed, even though we had this drop here. We still are in this massive fourth wave here. So we're just having more sideways here in the altcoins right now. That's why it's been so difficult here. The past 2 months have been very, very difficult to trade, because we have been in the massive sideways. But I do expect sooner or later alt season will start. The trick is just to position yourself in good altcoins, something I mentioned in my previous video. This bull run is going to be much more difficult than other bull runs, because not all altcoins are going to fly or make 5, 10, 20, 30x. We're already in late stages, in my opinion. You just have to scroll on crypto Twitter for not more than 10 minutes to realize that there are way too many retailers in this space already. That's what's worrying me. But right now it's very interesting to keep up to see here what Bitcoin is going to do next. Here on the 4 hour, we can see here what it looks like. We bounce here from the 0.31 usually. We might have here, let's say if we go here on the 1 hour time frame, we can look at something like a 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and usually the fourth waves go sideways. We might do something like this before we go higher. Time will tell. Just something to keep an eye. We don't want to really close below the 0.31 or the 0.5 line here. So we start closing here, then I would be like I would say that it's a lower probability of reaching the median line, but for now I do think it's very high that Bitcoin is going to reach at least this median line, and then we'll have to reanalyze and see when exactly we're going to break the all-time highs. Otherwise, I thank you so much for watching. Make sure to click my Discord. It's free for everybody to join down below, and I'll see you again in tomorrow's video.